I have a question for you guys. Were you on the Epstein list? The correct answer. Yes, but I was redacted. Wow. The incorrect answer is that you were not redacted. You don't even say that. Just saying yes. That's not the correct answer. That means you're just merely a victim. What a fucking loser.
Siding with the perpetrators and you're ignoring the victims. That will be your legacy unless you act quickly to change course.
You better change your mind about this.
You're running a massive Epstein cover-up right out of the Department of Justice.
Look at Epstein is still very much alive, isn't he?
Ordered by subpoena and by Congress
all over the place.
To turn over 6 million documents, photographs, and videos in the Epstein files, but you've turned over only 3 million. You say you're not turning over the other 3 million because they're somehow duplicative, but we know that there are actual memos of victim statements in there. And you also took down the Department of Justice's prosecution memo from 2019. So it's clearly not all duplicative, but even if it were, why not release it? Just release all the duplicative stuff. In the half you did produce, you redacted the names of abusers, enablers, accomplices, and co-conspirators, apparently to spare them embarrassment and disgrace, which is the exact opposite of what the law ordered you to do. Even worse, you...
Where's the law for that? They get to do whatever they want.
Shockingly failed to redact many of the victims' names, which is what you were ordered to do by Congress. Some of the victims had come forward publicly, but many had not. Many had kept their torment private, even from family and friends. But you published their names, their identities, their images on thousands of pages for the world to see. So you ignored the law, and even with over 100,000 employees...
We don't know the names of victims. What are you talking about?
...at your disposal, you acted with some mixture of staggering incompetence, cold indifference, and jaded cruelty towards more than 1,000 victims raped, abused, and trafficked.
Allegedly.
This performance screams cover-up. Convicted sex trafficker and groomer Ghislaine Maxwell opened the gates of hell to Virginia Giuffre and hundreds of other victims, as Virginia recorded in her remarkable book, Nobody's Girl. But when Maxwell was subpoenaed to come testify before Congress, you and Todd Blanche quickly moved her from a higher security prison to a minimum security camp in Texas, where she's enjoyed 5-star treatment, including catered meals, private gym time, and access to a therapy puppy. You're siding with...
What a weird world we're living in. Very well predicted, however. Remember when I was introducing you guys to the new year called election year? So now things are getting a little bit more clear of what election year entails. Again, you are responsible for putting criminals in jail. You're responsible. Just a little bit, you know? And technically everyone has to work together because the system is so fucking broken that obviously there's a lot of nests of rats and spiders and you name it that has to be cleared up. Because the system allowed it to manifest and they thought they were safe, but they're just scumbags, basically. And you can imagine there's just a whole fucking web of lies in there. To keep the system broken, they truly had to infiltrate quite deeply and make their every single move a survival suspicion trial, basically. Where they are slowly bleeding information, they have to slowly give up. No one, I don't think the justice can also move too quickly because they don't know what power level they're dealing with, so it doesn't have to be maliciously hidden, basically. And all these accusations of incompetence, like, you don't know what you're dealing with. Like, these these are so-called elites now getting exposed. Never been done before. So yeah, election year is, you have to realize that people were able to sneak in. And if you thought the system was about to stop them, there is no system. Okay? You must realize there was no fucking system, and you probably will want to upgrade the system to some extent. If you have the right tools, if you care about this sort of stuff, if you want justice, that means you want to upgrade the system a little bit, and you're probably going to participate. But election year is not about you. It's about the best of the best. That's what election is all about. Finding the best people who have the best ideas of how to improve the system. The bravest, basically, heroes. But at the same time, election year for me is a meme version. It's not like a real one. It's a trial version, a demo version, where we get the personalities to come out of like they want to work. They look promising. They seem to have good intentions, right? They seem to have good personalities and want to fight evil. Let's give them, right? Let's give them a heads up. Let's give them the clap. That's enough clappies. We didn't elect anyone yet. Apparently there was a meme version election moment where they saw something being propagated of like, that's on your side of the camp. And everyone's like, yay, let's adopt her. Amelia. Let's adopt this anime-looking girl, basically. This is the sort of demo version that we should expect. More Amelias popping up here and there. I'll try to catch them all. But what does that have to do with Epstein? There's another thing. There's another part of the prediction with election year is like America is that's the region of shit going down. And you know, I can multiply the prediction even further. I can say that it's gonna get more interesting as we go deeper, right? These 2 years gonna get weirder and weirder the deeper we go. This is just the surface level, basically. That's my prediction. This whole thing is a surface level of something about to go down. These elites that no longer feel safe, they will now try and fight back. They will try and do, well, crazier and crazier things, and someone will have to stop them. In America, you have the right to guns. So there's gonna be heroes, basically, that will stop the fucking bad guys. It's just that weird. Even if you shoot basically anyone from the Epstein list, you shoot them, you basically got vigilante justice. Because we don't know if the fucking system is gonna capture them fast enough, right? But we will celebrate just the same way that Luigi was celebrated. But there's gonna be more of that potentially, right? So this is just the beginning, just a introduction to what's about to happen. This Epstein shit. Unlike what Donald Trump indicates, he wanted to hide this whole charade. But unfortunately, it's much deeper than that, and it's like, why are you trying to stop justice? These are just as illegal type of human beings on your country as the actual illegals, right? So, fucking step aside, little bitch, Donald Trump, little fucking landlord, Satan. You have to watch this to understand that I supported Donald Trump until I'm like, I don't even care about Epstein list. I care about him wanting to raise the prices of houses. Doesn't want to solve the housing problem. He's just like, no, I'm more of a like I support predators type of guy. You know, he literally has that personality where it's like sucking a fucking Putin's dick, basically, just because he sort of has to bow down to anyone who's powerful. Like, that's fucked up, man. Without further ado, let's just plow through some TikToks and chill, because this is as deep as I'm gonna get. Stay tuned, stay subscribed, let's see what happens. Again, why is it predictable? You might be wondering, what is the pattern? But that's what the world is made out of, right? Like, it's just a bunch of patterns. If you pay attention, you know when the winter is coming, you know when the summer is coming. It's not that complicated, it seems. I'm surprised myself, but the patterns work. Anyways.
Russia also has an opiate issue, but they refuse methadone. The problem is to be Russian. It is.
So Russians don't like acknowledging that they have problems.
Part of Russia is to endure, right? Endurance is part of Russian culture. Therefore, the people are just expected to take it because.
Look at that. Bro is literally talking about survival. So if you follow patterns, Russia is heavily linked with capitalism. Right? And now he actually linked endurance, which is the most basic translation of survival skill, right? Whatever happens, you have to endure with whatever way you happen to do the said endurance, right? So, bro literally just tied in this word to double confirm that capitalism, not just Russia, but capitalism is about survival. That every single day that you survived capitalism, you should be happy, because there's so many ways to lose yourself, to destroy your life. No, obviously not just to survive, but to like keep whatever you own. See, the ownership is so valuable in capitalism, but all you have to do is not lose anything, not to gain. Gaining is a bonus meme. I sometimes will gain subscribers. Wait, subscriber is a very bad thing. I obviously don't want to lose subscribers. I don't want to, like, annoy them. I want to, like, stay consistent, right, as much as possible. That seems to be, like, extremely helpful for all the channels. Every channel wants to be, consistent. That's the thing that, like, we're all scared of losing subscribers. We have to actually play by the role of survival. Even on YouTube, even with just number, right? I don't know why he unlocked so much information about Russia.
The world's most sophisticated and persistent disinformation apparatus. Today, they wield a powerful network of bots, troll farms, and fake versions of Western media outlets that drive global conspiracy theories and shift public opinion in Russia's favor. But though modern technology makes Russia's disinformation doctrine seem modern, it's actually been continuously evolving since the 1950s. During the Cold War, the Soviet Union, industrial Asian Airlines Flight 17, Brexit, and elections across the US and Europe. And today their efforts fuel division across the West, amplifying far-left and far-right narratives with the aim to fracture NATO unity, EU cohesion, and political stability in places like Africa and Latin America. The reality is, Russia...
Yeah, it's so weird. Like, Asians, they have warfare of just educating their own people, pumping as much power into their own citizens as possible. That's their warfare. While Russia is, just like Israel, they're actively attacking anything they can get their hands on, through any ways, any pathways. Alright? That's literally the Middle East. They're just like the most aggressive pile of nations. They have to warp reality. They can't do anything else. Which makes the Fire Nation look bad, because I genuinely don't know what's the good side of Fire Nation, but it's like, you're bending reality, you're showing what's possible. Like, Mr. Beast actually shows the good side of narcissism in a way. But even then, I mean, am I impressed by Mr. Beast's impact to society? I don't know, man. We live in the world where everyone cheats and nobody really cares to play fair. Playing fair is just a downgrade. Because there is no system that keeps you accountable right now.
Is capitalizing.
In 100 years, there will be only North Koreans. So, at current rates of...
Yeah, South Korea is disappearing so fast that North Korea is laughing. You don't need to wage wars, you just wait. Oh, wait, South Korea is disappearing while we wait. Last time it was 69, baby. What do you mean approaching? 0.8. 72? It will slightly rise, guys. There is a fake crisis, by the way. Like, imagine, there's a baby boomer generation, and they created a bunch of babies. But the babies, they're 18 years old. Until they're 18 years old, they can't even have babies. So, like, for 18 years, we have fertility crisis, fertility drop. Are you fucking kidding me? Get yourself fucking educated, morons. There's always overpopulation. Always. And now that Russia is no longer a threat, there's just more overpopulation everywhere. And yes, for 18 years, in fact, 25 years and even more, fertility rates are gonna fucking drop after they have been bumped. You know, everywhere. Goddamn everywhere. I haven't started dating yet. Whatever.
Some things, a regular old sharp knife edge just doesn't cut very well, like layers of packing tape. The problem from some sources is to use a serrated knife for its saw-like cutting action, which will help you saw that you're cutting.
They're not saws. The saws work like this.
Goes through the wood with relative ease, even though things in a specific direction.
They do the same thing.
Now the direction they wedge the material and how they deal with the displaced material they wedge. Knives, when they parallel.
Bro, get to the point. One
to
second.
the blade. On the other hand, use
Look
the
at this.
same exact wedge-shaped cutting teeth to displace the material either up,
it grabs everything,
away from the cut face, or from either side of the kerf towards the middle, depending on the shape of the saw teeth themselves. Why is it?
Guys, I have good news. We have upgraded version of the Epstein drama already. Have the response.
You sit here and you attack the president.
You attack a president! She's using all the fucking tactics, basically. Why is she not concerned about the victims? Oh, don't worry about that. Let her do the narcissistic defending of Trump, and it's like, oh, Trump has done so many good things. Look at all these Epstein files we have uncovered. Like, Trump was not behind Epstein file extraction anymore. Like, he just wanted to fucking block it, basically, at some point. So, like, get the fuck out of here. He's not taking any credit for that. And then the ending was pretty fucking badass. What is the...
We should be talking about... What does a Dow have to do with anything? That's what they just asked. Are you...
But the Dow is higher by 50,000. Are you kidding me?
You sit here and...
Are you kidding me? Donald Trump did so many good things. We are allowed to drill the president because he was a blocker. He doesn't see importance in Epstein files at all, so fuck you, dude. But to me, he's just literally the ultimate predator. A person who helps every single other predator. Sort of like bending the system for the predators to manifest. And the secondary predators are landlords. But a president has a lot of power to boost the landlords. It seems, the way he fucking inscribed, or rather implicated.
We need to vote schizos into office. This is the secret war that's been going on since the dawn of time. Now, most of the world is made up of normies. Now,
What do we have to vote?
We need to vote schizos into office.
Look at that, election year right there. That guy. Now, I would never call myself a schizo, bro. It's fucking insane. But I know what he means because I know what counters what. Psychos counter normies. I mean, to some extent. Psychos are people who basically pose themselves as greater authority. Wants you to entrust them with extra information. Wants you to bleed information. And Shizu just keeps it for himself. The thinker. But I would still never call them that. I call them anarchist. You know? And my comment disappeared.
Pokimane describes the difference between dating a broke man and...
We already saw that, by the way, in the series. But thank God Asmongold shares the same lore, basically.
We, on behalf of the Lord of the Rings community, say
history more pro-border control than Lord of the Rings. Brother, do you understand why Minas Tirith, Minas Morgul, and Osgiliath even exist? Like, come on, bro. Control and...
In order to prevent Mordor from leaking out. That's why these cities exist. To block. Whoa, is that true? Well, you are invited for revenge. Will Epstein will Elon Musk be elected in election year for being actually fucking helpful? We'll find out during this year, baby. See, that's the whole thing. Like, who's gonna be the most helpful? Who's gonna uncover the most? Who's gonna fucking put them into jail? Who's gonna push beyond what the system allows them to do, right? Who's gonna find some kind of loophole where they just drag the cloud into jail where they belong, right?
Have you ever wondered how 3D artists create foliage assets like plants and bushes?
You will not believe me, but I saw this video after I posted. 1 second, guys. 1 second. We're getting there. This image. It was like around here. Right? I was taking a break and I'm like, shit. TikTok is watching my Discord and just recommended fern content. Now, ferns are very common, but for fuck's sake, how?
Digital foliage.
I was literally like, in my head figuring out like how am I gonna do ferns? Again, I'm working on ray tracing system. I've actually made an update. It's not very impressive, but it works. From very far away, the rendering doesn't break. You keep rendering no matter how far you go. Basically. That's the best shit ever. Because these things kind of scale. But you don't have to worry about it. It just looks nice. Even if they scale. But that's about it. I am excited to be a dictator of computer graphics.
They say hurricanes are getting worse. They're not. They say wildfires are increasing. They're not. They say droughts are increasing. They're not. The lies just pile up. The claims...
Wait a second. I guess it is going down.
The lies just pile up. The claims that the world is hotter than it's ever been, or even hotter than it has been in recent times. Totally untrue. There is no proper scientific evidence to support these claims.
What is that explosion?
To repeat, whether it's current CO2 levels or record temperatures or the relationship between CO2 and temperature, sea level rises, mass animal extinctions, or whatever else, the claims of the fanatical, deranged zealots in the climate industry can be shown to be garbage.
Climate is changing so hard! Oh my goodness.
Not only to official data, but also to dozens upon dozens of excellent scientific studies published in respected academic journals. They say hurricanes are getting worse.
Sources, please.
So you mean to tell me that I need to leave my village where we grow our own food, where we build our own homes, where we watch each other's children?
Yes, leave capitalism, I mean communism.
Big city, so I can get an education, so I can get a job, so I can earn money, so I can pay for a home, so I can pay for food, so I can pay
Yes, you can see how everything turns into a lie, basically.
for childcare, so I can pay for domestic care, so that I have more time to spend at work, so I can earn more money, so I can pay for a home, so I can pay for food, so I can pay for childcare, so I can pay for domestic care, so that I have more time to spend at work, so I can earn more money, so I can pay for... When I had all those things to begin with in the village?
Again, village is communism, and you did not have all these things in the village. Nah. Enjoy the things that capitalism gives you while you still can.
Billie Eilish just learned the hard way, if you tell the world you're living on stolen land, don't be surprised when lawyers show up to try to take it back. While Billie was busy playing activist at the Grammys, the Sinai law firm in LA, which is a premier
Uh-oh, you open your mouth, celebrity!
And they have a pro bono offer that she probably wasn't expecting. They've offered to represent the Tongva tribe for free to serve Billie an eviction notice. Their logic is that since she admitted publicly that her mansion is on stolen land, she basically conceded that she has no right to be there. It's cute, isn't it? How these celebrities spend millions on gated estates, hire private security to keep the illegals out, and then...
This is one of the most basic...
Shut up.
So they're saying Neverland...
What has happened?
They would clip the edges off coins ever so carefully to not visibly change the shape of the coin, so it would look totally normal at a quick...
Oh my god, guys, I know a cheat code.
...glance, allowing them to slip through casual checks by cashiers and bankers...
But wait! The current coins are trash. They're not made out of gold. I used to be a coin clipper when I was growing up. Now look at me.
I think we need to talk about Mr. Ryback here at this point. Because genuinely, I have never seen someone who sent that good a Eurovision song in with Fairy Tale, one of the greatest of all time. One of the songs that really got me into Eurovision properly was this song, especially when I played violin. This was me to a T, right? I've never seen the downfall of such a talented musician to the songs that have been entered by him in the last few times. It's honestly a joke.
I don't know.
Girls in China have become so
I guess I'd like to double check.
delulu that the government has had to step in. Specifically, the government in China is stepping in to regulate TV dramas to help curb the delusion of young women who have been led to believe that a rich man will fall in love with them. Romanticizes extremely wealthy business leaders like CEOs and promotes unrealistic billionaire meets ordinary girl storylines. The government is worried that certain content promotes unhealthy values of wealth worship, materialism,
Rich people will love me.
And unrealistic relationship ideas. Regulators further suggest reducing quantity and improving quality and avoiding tropes like domineering CEOs just to attract clicks. Based on...
I don't know. Sometimes Delulu turns into reality. It's just like it depends of how you handle it. But the system will shut itself down and slow itself down to try and curve stupid ideas, right? Grandiose ideas. It's not China-based, it's just gonna be across the world. How did I like this?
Number one, let's go.
Lithuania, what's going on?
Lithuania, let's do this. Come on, Lithuania, let's get it trending.
Let's get it trending. So Justin Bieber definitely saw the joke. What the fuck are you fucking saying? What's so funny? This guy flopped and you have to laugh at him? Not funny. Now we laugh at you, you fucking weirdo. It is not funny, but it's funny for Americans. So you can still laugh, you know? It's still worth laughing.
Have you ever seen a backyard bench this simple? Instead of spending a few $100, 4
Boom.
posts right into the openings on top of the blocks.
Bench
that wood is strong enough to handle real weight without sagging. Then she lays a few boards across
you don't
the
like it?
backrest by locking boards
Bam,
deep into the block
backrest.
structure, which makes the whole thing surprisingly sturdy. Throw on a couple cushions.
I made it out of $5.
Ever wonder how pirates crack protected games? Back in 2009 days.
Yeah, it's complicated. I'm not gonna fucking
Why are there so
entertain
many
this.
big American philosophy? America's philosophy is that the government is slow and stupid. The 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help, according to Ronald Reagan. The only thing the government should do is just have a giant military to protect America and bomb poor countries, and that's it. Otherwise, get the government out of the way and let the free market work its magic. The government should not try to, I don't know, create a long-term plan for the economy. That's communist. That's what the Soviet Union did, and look what happened to them. Well, the problem is that if people in the magical free market want to create hardware companies, they kind of need the government to plan some things. Hardware is really complicated. It has complex supply chains, and it needs a ton of infrastructure. Imagine if you were to try to start an electric car company right now. You'd probably have no idea where to even start, right? How are you going to just build a factory right now? How would you set up an entire nationwide network of charging stations for electric vehicles? This is insanely difficult to do unless you have hundreds of millions of dollars to throw at this like Elon Musk. Well, do you know which country has a ton of electric vehicle startups? China. And it's because the government builds the foundation and takes care of the problems that are too big for any individual entrepreneur to handle. For example, do you as an entrepreneur need cheap energy for your factory? Don't worry about it. We've planned it out and we're generating plenty. Go ahead and build. Need rare earth minerals to build your EVs? Don't worry about that either. The deals have been signed, the processing facilities have been built, and the supply chain for it is domestic and secured. On Earth, where no individual company would bother mining and processing these at a large enough scale for what you guys would need to down level. Build a bunch of stuff, and then watch your units grow the civilization. Whereas the American government's attitude is more like, I'm a terrible civilization player. Any top-down planning I do will just mess things up. Let me just let the little dots on the screen figure it out. Well, if you're an American living as one of the little dots on the screen and there's no infrastructure to help you out, what type of company would you start? Probably a software company. You can start it in your bedroom. You don't need any infrastructure, any supply chains, any raw material.
That's me right there.
The product quickly and fix it later. This is the standard philosophy taught.
Well, Hightail should have been taking notes, this little bitches.
The only problem is that it seems like American hardware companies also apply this philosophy, focusing on short-term profits and launching things before they're ready. But this doesn't work with things like planes and cars. You can't fix a car after it's shipped. You do have to get it right the first time.
I'll fix it later until people die.
The reason
there's so much more. This one event invoked a lot more videos, guys. More bonus memes.
Trump attended various parties with Jeffrey Epstein. I want to know, were there any underage girls at that party or at any party?
Keep it up, sir. Election year happening. On your... right in your face, guys. How dare you?
This is so ridiculous, and that they are trying to deflect.
Why you're trying to deflect?
From all the great things Donald.
You are trying to deflect from all those great things Trump is doing right now. Holy shit, man. And paint him as a villain. You should be mesmerized like everyone else of how great Donald Trump is. Bro, we had like 2 choices for a president. Shut the fuck up. Alright? We can put as much pressure on the president as we want. That's the fucking power of democracy. You can pass the elections. And if you a fucking President Glazer, I mean, like, get the fuck out of here. She couldn't even do that convincingly. Well, I'll go to sleep, wake up to finish this. Yeah, meme level election means like whatever you see that's compatible to be elected, you kind of like desperately want to elect. So it's actually very easy to slip past these defenses because people are not genuinely desperate for really good people to go to work. No, just like whatever is the most convenient to grab. So that's election year. It's not a good thing. Just like Vortex, it's not really a good thing to be elected. The first one to be elected because he just happened to be around. I mean, people will just kind of be bored of you, almost. But there's, I don't know, I'm looking for a downside, obviously. we will see going into this what is the biggest downside, what's actually gonna go on. Like, the most obvious is elite retaliation, which is like happening. Like, there's a lot of them, and that potentially can do a lot of damage. Look, even more news about Epstein files. Oh my goodness. People can't shut up about it. Yes, I just dreamt about Rosé, by the way. Oh, so the glitch doesn't stop there. It's a mega glitch. Because it's Rosé's birthday. And she posted, of course. When I wake up is the first post that I see. I mean, what the fuck is that? That's the biggest glitch of all time right now. I still remember the second biggest glitch of choosing Olivia as my Valentine, and here comes the fucking movie about it, basically. About Valentine's Day. Okay? Fucking weird. This one's insane. I still have no idea how I convinced people to click on this shit. Alright, let's keep going.
Steps. Step 1, ramp up the immigration. 1 million a year, 2 million a year, as much as possible. You're doing this to attract the necessary sponsors from the business and property sector. Because what happens when there's more of something? It's worth less. So the big business sector loves an inflated labor pool. Means they can pay every
Wow, Australian is fighting back.
less. And all those immigrants need to live somewhere, increasing the demand for property where supply is limited. So property development firms, big property owners and leasers, they can jack up the price of property and increase rents. Suddenly everything's selling for 10 times more than it should be. And whoever's opening the floodgates, these fat cats are going to figure it out and throw a lot of money at them to keep the immigration coming in. You just scored for yourself the richest sponsors in the land. Now you've got superior financial resources, greater advertising and campaigning power. Step 2, find a way to convert all of those immigrants into citizens as quickly as you can. The idea is to make voters out of them, but you want to do this fast, or the existing working class you're replacing might figure out what you're doing and try to hold you accountable. And you really don't want that because you're basically committing treason here. Use bureaucratic loopholes like fast-tracked permanent residency visas or some other bullshit. Just make them into voters and do it quickly. Step 3, advertise yourself as the multicultural option. Make the immigrants feel like you're the party that represents them and you're the only logical choice for them. They all vote for you and voila. Within 2 to 3 years, you just imported a whole new ethnic voting bloc in the millions, which is putting you leagues ahead of the other parties. You just turned the country into a single-party state you can rule with an iron fist. No more of that annoying democracy where you actually had to have a valid idea and argue its merits. Don't worry about that anymore. You can just do whatever you want now. You can censor the internet, throw your political opponents in jail. You just took over a whole country and you did it through immigration and calling people racists. How to take over a whole...
I've been saying for years that the Call of Duty games are basically a US government psyop. And every time I do, there's a bunch of dudes in my comments like, it's not that deep, bro. Just let people have fun, bro. But now we have leaked emails between the creators of Call of Duty and one Jeffrey Epstein. And in these...
Yeah, it's the microtransaction thing that confirms that Call of Duty brainwashes Americans to think that Americans are good and the rest of the world is bad.
You're law enforcement. We've seen all kinds of evidence of crimes. And when we go over to the Department of Justice for the 4 computers for every member of Congress, we see more evidence of crime. Will you create a joint task force of the Department of Justice and governors and state attorney generals and district attorneys across the country to investigate the crimes that have taken place against these victims and more than 1,000 like them? The DOJ is not doing its job. Will you create a task force with state and local law enforcement to make that happen?
Julia can respond. She wants to.
Thank you, Chairman. He called Chase Mulligan a wild goose chase and didn't even know who he was. He is a defendant in your...
Wow, she definitely answered that question.
We now have FBI proof that the FBI wiped the security cameras that were watching Jeffrey the night he lost his life. Let's read. Only one of the hard drives of the camera systems were working at the...
You get it. It's a whole web of lies, guys.
You know how members of Congress
Web of secrets
are supposed to be viewing the unredacted Epstein files right now? Well, it turns out the ones they have access to still have heavy redactions. This member of Congress was at the DOJ 3 times in the past 2 days looking at the unredacted Epstein files, and this is what they experienced. The search function didn't actually work. Half the stuff I was looking for was still redacted, We couldn't write on the files we brought in or even use post-it notes, just notes on a legal pad. We shared 4 computers for 435 members of Congress, not very efficient. They were also keeping a history of all the files we were viewing. The worst part about everything he said was that the search function wasn't working properly. This makes it nearly impossible for them to view the over 3 million files. The entire process was set up to avoid transparency.
Yeah, I mean, Americans are that sort of breed where they allow secrets to manifest, right? And some secrets are really fucking creepy to the point where if you let that shit manifest, you should go to jail too. Like, you're still having American brain online, ruining your fucking life because you're siding with the predators, basically. Like, Jesus Christ, man. Americans have that fucking brain when they slow things down. They're like taking it slow, like, yeah, secret, redaction. We don't have to give you everything. We can't give you everything, bro. Come back next week and you get another daily reward, basically. Oh, boy. There's a lot of, like,
So they're saying
Michael Jackson is innocent type of situation, where he was, like, actually fighting this bastard.
Neverland is where Michael Jackson took children to protect them from what was being done on Epstein's island. And because
they would clip the edges off coins.
Yeah, I mean, in order to be the most popular guy, like, Epstein is the least popular guy. Michael is the most popular guy. You have to be a good person, isn't it?
They would clip the edges off
He's not dead! Ha ha ha. Yeah, there's conspiracy running that. Sounds plausible.
The edges off coins.
I will have to make a second video about this. Nobody really cares. But I will let it sit for like a month and then I come back with a much deeper dive into what's happening with my country. Why did a 10-year-old meme resurface? Because they actually had it. The YouTubers even reacted to this cringe, you know, and they said their opinions and stuff. Like, there's a lot of fucking shit going on with this.
Have you ever seen a backyard
Why did it
bench?
resurface?
Ever
What's
wonder
going
how
on?
pirates crack protected games?
Was coming to your house tomorrow, what would you do? You'd probably clean everything, sweep the floors, dust
Am
the
I
shelves,
Jesus?
hide that one chair that's been broken for years, but you just never got around to fixing. You'd prepare. Now, what if I told you the King of Kings is coming?
No,
Not
my
someday
goodness.
in the far-off future that doesn't really affect you. Not in some, maybe, possibly, eventually timeline.
Wow.
But soon. Jesus is coming back. And here's the real question. Are you ready? Because the truth is, a lot of people aren't.
It does feel like the biggest question is like, why Jesus? Why a guy from 2,000 years ago? And my brain is now telling me of like, there's a roadblock. People still like books, so we have books and the roadblock. If someone is searching for ancient historical knowledge, they will be able to bounce off and be like, well, Jesus is pretty cool. And then they can follow Jesus into like the present day Christian thinking, basically. Because you have to be up to date with everything, with every single belief. It's just religion tends to dig deep and set up roadblocks to stop you from like digging too deep, you know, because you're not supposed to fall through and be like, oh, the earth was around 2 billion years old and we had humans for a very long time. Why should I care about Jesus in particular? Right? Like, you're not supposed to fall through. That's my best interpretation. Why we still have the calendar and we're counting down from 0, all that shit, right? There's a like literally physical roadblock to stop people.
Justin Bieber's sorry performance meme explained. This meme originated from 25th.
Your lawyers, but Judge
Whoa!
Engeron
Closing arguments.
said, impugn the judge, his staff, the plaintiff, or the New York State court system.
Bro set up some crazy rules
And if Trump
for his
did
closing
violate-
arguments. But we don't know the ending, so whatever.
Isn't it interesting that, you know, the human eye and brain can get a perfect read on 3D space without any color whatsoever? You know, it's like in painting, you know, value, i.e. dark to light, is the
This himself, and the prison went into alert mode. And he ends it by saying, "You guys, I'm shaking right now. I think that they switched him out."
Yeah. There is that 4chan
The
post.
consequences from the begun. Lithuania.
Be gone. My country starts off strong. We already had pedo situationship going on, so we were basically ready to dig deeper. We're mentally prepared to respond and look good to the rest of the world, but yeah. Maybe that actually invoked the sorry meme. I don't know, man. People's brains work weird ways.
If you guys haven't seen that video that I on that female journalist, they literally kicked her to the ground. Don't worry, by the time I walked away from the Democratic cult years ago, when I realized, like, holy shit, dude, y'all will just believe anything.
Isn't it convenient that the government says you can't tax unrealized gains on stocks? The wealthy people own the stocks. They haven't sold it yet. How can they pay the taxes? I understand that logic. I am tracking with that logic. So let's use that same logic. You can't tax unrealized gains on houses. Oh, well, is it because the middle class owns houses? But hey, at least investment properties are taxed the same way as homes, so the wealthy can still pay their fair share. No, investment properties get to write off depreciation, which means even if the house goes up in value, you can say it got older, so it's not worth as much. They get to write off maintenance, so if a fridge or a garbage disposal goes out, that's a tax write-off. You owning a home, you need to buy a new fridge? That's tough. You better get going. Lowe's is closing soon. Throw that fridge on a credit card. Who cares? Also, investment properties, if they get a plumber, cleaners, anything like that, that's considered management fees and maintenance fees. That's a tax write-off. Your pipe bursts, you need to hire a plumber? That's coming out of your pocket. Now, a way you can get around this is if you start an LLC, which costs like maybe $300, you can buy a property in it, rent it to yourself, and then throw all this onto that. But that's not really the point. The point is the government hates you because you're not a billionaire.
Oh, I love this meme. I love this meme, guys.
How much do you want for it?
I want $900 trillion for it.
Look, it might be worth that much, but I have to make sure it's genuine. Let me call my friend. He lives in a gravel pit, so he deals with rocks every day, and he will be able to tell me if this is a real rock or not.
Hey, Rick. Hello. Let me get my microscope out. I'm looking for any signs that this rock is counterfeit. Fake rocks usually include a small camera because they're made by the CIA and used for surveillance, but this one seems to be a genuine piece.
Well, thank you for coming in. So, I can offer you a bag of Doritos for it.
Come on, man. Give me $1 billion and we call it a day.
Remember, I have to take all the risks. Plus, I have to repair it, polish it, lick it, rebuild it, find batteries for it, frame it, and hang it on the wall. Best I can do is a corn dog and a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, that's it.
This is a rock.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Because what you mean? Not for any moral or high ground reasons. It's simple. They have not been getting paid. Right? Some have reportedly not been paid up to 6 months. So you have some who are quitting because they can't afford to stay, and you have others who take side jobs on their days off, like Uber and Uber Eats, just to make ends meet. Right? Not only that, the insurance that they were promised, right, that they'd be covered as long as they were ages, and even family members being covered, they still haven't seen it. They have got
the biggest con the month's rent. The truth is we are all slaves to the system, yet they distract us with entertainment and games and
they don't give us games. We give each other games. We give each other entertainment to try and mentally survive. But like most of the billionaires, they just like disconnected and they leech the system through loopholes.
Holy shit. Professor Unk has our starters. He's a stray. He's a stray. We'll give him a home. Okay. What's his name? Bob Barker. Professor Unk, our first gym battle. Here we go. Of course, he has a skunk. Confused. Roman did a great job. Bob Barker is taking a shit on the menu screen. Here we go. He's got his fishing rod still. Dutch have come a long way. Arthur, send out Colm. Colm, get him. Oh my god, this is nightmare fuel. Torso mod. Final battle. Noodle, come on. Micah's final form. First capture test.
Wow.
Okay, here's another one I don't know that everyone's ready for. Here is the center of a tree that's being chopped down somewhere in the United States that's gushing water. And you may be thinking, oh, it's probably on like a water main, or maybe it's on like some type of spring. But hold on a second. I present you this flat top mountain, which is constantly gushing water, despite there being no lakes on top of it or rivers nearly at all. And it doesn't always rain there either, but these are constantly flowing. Like Angel Falls in Venezuela, it never stops flowing, and it's coming off the top of a plateau, flat-topped mountain. The question you must ask yourself, and literally think about this logically for a second, how did the tops of certain mountains become completely flat?
Your favorite singers are employees, and their full-time job is to make their company, the Granges or someone like it, a lot of money. Nothing they're doing is authentic because that's not their job. Sophia Richie's husband, Elliot Grange, and his dad, Lucian Grange, own your favorite celebrities. And so people like Addison Rae actually have to do exactly what the Granges ask her to tell her to do until she dies. She can't cancel her contract. And so that's why people like Justin Bieber piss in the mop bucket. That's why people like Kanye go online to make incredibly disparaging comments. I want to ruin my brand so you can't make money and you.
Then he makes a follow-up post that a lot of celebrities liked his tiki-taki because he's spilling the truth.
We've never seen anything like this before. Collapsing today. Gold fell as much as 13%, while silver plunged as much as 36%.
Oh my god!
For silver,
the system is designed to replace stairs. It allows you to move between floors while sitting, using only 10% of the effort required to climb stairs. Ideal for the elderly and people with disabilities, the system moves vertically along a rail and pulley mechanism without the need for external power or electricity. This offers mobility without sacrifice.
We need that on the side of buildings, bro. Come on, man. This is not for mobility. This is literally speed. Now I'm using my hands and my legs potentially, right? I don't know. And is this more accessible than stairs? That's an alternate way to climb, you know? That's the accessibility. Accessibility is always alternation, basically.
Yeah, I know. 200 billion people do it. No, it won't. No, it won't. This is the CO2 emission across the years. This dip, this small dip, was in 2020, which was COVID time. So COVID time, no cars, no flights, no trains, everyone is at home. And this is how much we need to reduce our CO2 emissions.
Uh-oh.
Good news!
They're gonna fuck us up now. Even though we're literally incapable of
just
reducing.
A little tidbit.
Mia Khalifa. Yes, you 100% heard me correctly. Apparently, the both of them have been dating since last.
What do you mean Mr. Bean is a character, and she's a porn star character?
And many people are spreading pictures of the both of them being seen in public and whatnot.
I will never be able to unsee this, guys. What is going on in there?
On social media.
I mean, literally, winter season, you need a heating system. This is, fucking genius.
This one right here is the most popular.
These people use in real life. It's not just a plot device, it's a label for how systems trap you while sounding totally reasonable. Catch-22 takes place in World War II on a U.S. Air Force base on a little Mediterranean island. The character Yossarian is a bomb that drives Yossarian crazy as he feels like he keeps narrowly escaping death, and the people in charge act like it's no big deal. I'm not brave, I'm not noble, I just don't want to die for a quota. And so he looks for a way out that the system will accept. And the system offers him something that sounds compassionate. If you're crazy, you don't have to fly missions. But then comes the second part, the catch. To get grounded, you have to be asked to be grounded. But asking to be grounded because you don't want to die is rational. And if you're rational, you're not crazy, so you're fit to fly. And this is the catch-22. It's a loop where the escape hatch drops you right back into the cage. And that's what makes
I don't know, it's just the one way the system can fail in a way, but the described source? I mean, there's so many ways to be crazy, is it not?
What do you mean that this guy spent budget? It was just one
Go
guy.
play it! Go play his game, guys.
Computer. And this guy literally spent 6 or 7 months just fixing the textures in this game. And he thought that there would be so many people that joined. But this is where it gets more worser. One night he finally had
more
a big
worser
premiere for his game. However, this guy literally had no friends. And he was hoping that people would see how great this game actually is. And when he dropped the game, he stayed up all night refreshing the player count, hoping that people would join. Or that the Roblox game would see how hard he...
Oh my god, let's play his Roblox game.
Turns out Alex wasn't as pretty as y'all tried to make him seem just 11 days before he was fatally.
Texas.
Alright, let's find the meme and
The world
move
is
on with
now
our life.
Funny, but not really funny. Bro, the most evilest men are never single. Like the men that be abusive, the men that be cheating, they never, it's like they have an abundance of women that want them.
Because there's terrible women, too. Let's not forget
DMs
that
on America
who owns TikTok now?
TikTok are now censored, seemingly in a way that supports Trump. You can't.
And yet, I still have been slurping Epstein file tiki-talkies. You know what? You need the zombie apocalypse vibes, because that's next year.
Come on. What's the big deal?
What's the big deal? Ah! Survival games, baby.
Guys, I can't. They're humans too.
Somebody help me! Austin, no!
Guys, we did it!
They're ready for the zombie apocalypse. That's what they have been waiting for this whole time, to make this one TikTok to show. You lost it? This guy died. This guy fucking died. Wasn't he just accidentally shot? This is not the last time you're gonna hear about Epstein files. I don't have to, like, summarize this video for you. This is the way the can of worms opens. Should you pay attention? Should you care about stuff like this? I say it's just more productive to just pray that bad people gonna get caught and brought to justice. That is all, you know? Excluded from society because we don't want them around to just muddy the waters. See you guys next time.